Hey, welcome to Voices of the Parents. So, as you know, we've been trying to get this set up and running for a while. We have discovered many things within the schools that's really not acceptable. We think you should be aware, also believe that things should be changed. Things can't be changed with just one parent, unfortunately. So this is about getting the conversations out there so that parents are aware and empowered to speak up for themselves. So this was put together by
Luna Fairbanks
and Alexa Carl. So currently, on this first one, I think we're going to discuss the issues surrounding toilets. This is quite a large concern given the amount of accidents that happen within the schools because their toilets are locked.
And it's the children's human rights.
And they're still not allowed to the bathroom. If they ask the teacher, it all depends on whether the teacher presses that on-call button or not. If the teacher presses the on-call button, the on-call is there then asking, does that child have a toilet pass? You're humiliating the child in front of a classroom depending on the child's age. So we're currently discussing the secondary schools. Depending on the age, you're humiliating that child because they need to use the bathroom. So this came about with our own children in secondary school, and we really need to get this out there.
I think it's more so for the girls as well when they have the periods.
Yeah.
Because they can't turn around to the teacher and say, excuse me, I need to go and change my pad.
It's
in front of a class full of boys as well.
Yeah, but you wouldn't do this at work.
No.
This is not even something you'd do at work. You wouldn't need to.
And I think only opening the toilets just before break time and they're locked again before you kick out at school in the evening, you don't always need a toilet at break time.
No, you don't.
It may be halfway coming back, you suddenly need to go. And then they're calling other children out of the older classes that are free to take the younger children to the toilet. Now, what if that is a boy taking a girl to the toilet?
There's
or
all
vice
sorts
versa.
of issues.
Yeah, or vice versa. You don't want that older girl taking a younger boy to the toilet. It's not acceptable.
It's not good.
And again, there's been incidences that she's turned around and told me that a child has wet themselves in class.
Yeah.
Or she's come home full of blood.
Yeah.
Because she weren't allowed near the toilet. So there's a lot. And these toilet passes are useless because you fight to get them. And if you do get them, you're still not listened to and you still have to explain to the teacher why you need to go to the toilet. So it's defeating the object.
So my daughter's been assessed by the National Disability Service and she should have access to a toilet at all times. So every year I'm fighting for a pass, and on this particular occasion, now I've been told numerous times there are no permanent passes in place, there's no this, there's no that. You're telling me something that's wrong, something that is just not acceptable to me. When children have an assessed need, these things need to be put in place immediately. So I don't see how me fighting for years for my child to then take an accident at the end of the school day because these toilets are locked. That didn't bode very well with me. Yes. The whole system needs to be changed. They're stating with regards to truancy, it's safeguarding. They can't have these children roaming the building on their own. No, but you're not allowing them reasonable access to a bathroom. And this is where the issue is. Yes, it reduces truancy. There's no dispute on that. But there are other ways of dealing with truancy rather than actually subjecting our children to this.
So mine was diagnosed just before Christmas.
Yeah.
And they were aware she suffers heavy periods.
Yeah.
Yet I'm being told she can't have a toilet pass until they contact her GP.
No.
Hear back from them.
No,
again,
that's wrong.
That's not acceptable because that's her privacy.
Exactly. And that's just a way of getting in contact with the GP, and we bypass the schools from doing that for certain reasons, which you'll come across further on in the podcasts. I have a lot to speak about. So when it comes to that, all you would need is a printout of a summary from your GP service. So if you go to your GP service and you ask for a report summary, you are able to then highlight that and hand that into the school. That is sufficient evidence. Don't have them tell you otherwise. That is more than sufficient.
Yeah, I think that's what it is as well. And then it's like, well, okay, we're going to email this teacher or we're going to email that person. They're not getting back to you. And again, weeks down the line, you're still waiting on this human right that your child should have to use a toilet.
Well, you've seen how many years I've been battling them.
Yeah. I mean, I've even gone to Ofsted. It got that bad.
What did Ofsted say? Because this will be interesting to hear, to be fair.
Until they start hearing from more parents, can't investigate.
And this is where the issue is. The parents can't talk together because then it's seen as somebody upsetting the apple cart, and nobody wants to step forward and say this isn't acceptable.
Well, I've been classed as a problem.
I'm neurotic.
I'm a troublemaker.
I'm a neurotic parent.
Yeah.
I am hypervigilant and I'm a neurotic parent.
And because I call all the time and make a complaint and emails and no one answers me back, so I call again or I go down there, I'm a troublemaker. The head teacher won't actually speak to me no more because I care about my child and her well-being.
Yeah, but you're able to speak up. And what I've found speaking with an awful lot of parents is they're either not aware how bad this is, they just don't know how to speak up against a professional body.
Yeah, see, talking to the safeguarding teachers, all I keep hearing is, you're not the only one.
Yeah, but that's not right.
No, it's not. So if you're getting more and more complaints, why are you not flagging it? Why is it taking us to say enough's enough?
All right, but here's the wider question. Why are we not talking?
Exactly.
Why are we not getting together? Why are we not discussing this as a larger issue? Because it is. Mm-hmm. We're faced with a mental health crisis here in the UK. It's disgusting. But yet you can't see how this might impact a child. So hang on a second. If I was at work and I wasn't allowed to go to the toilet,
yeah,
and I took an accident,
yeah,
as an adult, how would I feel?
Exactly. And you could sue them for that.
Right.
But the kids regimented in the schools, isn't it?
And they're not allowed.
Yeah.
Because they quote safeguarding. This isn't safeguarding. Mm-hmm. This is about truancy.
It is. And your kids aren't leaving the school grounds because you've got to go through 10-ton security to get in as well as get out. All they want is a toilet.
Yeah. Even if we took this out wider, the schools aren't receiving enough funding, but schools are run to make a profit.
Yeah.
Right? But they're still not in receipt of enough funding, so therefore they're short-staffed to save the money and keep their profits. But in the meantime, we're all fighting each other.
Yeah. And the kids are suffering because of it.
And that's where the issue lies.
It is. And especially when you've got a child that's scared to tell you, by the way, I made a mess of myself today.
It's nothing worse.
Exactly. You know, it's, well, why are your trousers in a state? I leaked through or I wet myself. Why didn't you tell me? Because they're too scared to tell you, because they know you're going to talk to the school.
They know you're going to kick off at the school. That's
and it'll be them that feels like they're going to get blamed.
But it's nothing. That's where the issue lies. And do you know what I found? A couple of the teaching staff have said, oh, your mum will. No, it doesn't matter what I do.
Yeah.
Why is my child feeling this way? I'm thankful. My child will come to me each day with what's gone on in school and stuff like this. Sometimes it might take a bit longer.
Yeah.
There was a period there where we had nothing being said and she hit crisis point, which isn't a very nice place to be.
Yeah, see, me, on the other hand, she won't talk to me because she's too embarrassed. And it'll take a week, maybe a bit more, to say, oh, by the way, this happened to me.
Yeah.
And by then, I can't bring it up as a recent thing. It's like, well, this happened last week, and then it's, well, why didn't she come to me and talk to me?
You can still
it's
bring
like,
that
because
up.
she's too scared.
You can still bring that up because, well, it needs to be raised anyway. But
it does, because I've spoken to the...
Because she won't come forward straight away.
No, I said this to the safeguarding, and they's like, yeah, but why can't she just come and talk to me? It's like, well, she can't come home and talk to me as a parent in a safe space. She ain't going to come talk to you.
Yeah.
Because they're not feeling comfortable enough at school to say, hey, hold on a minute, this isn't acceptable.
Yeah, but for this secondary school period, they have got hormones coming into play. They've got peer pressure. Mm-hmm. They've got so many things going on for them. They don't want to be seen as different. They don't want to be seen as making trouble.
And especially when they've got issues as well. You know, if this child suffers from anxiety or things like that, bringing attention to themselves is more devastating than actually wetting themselves.
Yeah.
So again, that needs to be addressed as well, because teachers need to be trained better to notice signs. I mean, someone said to me the other day, well, if your child's too scared to put their hand up and ask for something, then maybe what you do is just something simple, get them a coloured pen.
Yeah.
Tell the teacher this coloured pen. When that child feels they need something, get that pen out and put it on the table so the teacher sees it. Attention's not drawn to them, but they're knowing they need something.
And that's good, because they've used that previously. Mm-hmm. However, one teacher, 30 students, what's the chances they're going to spot it?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's flaws everywhere.
There really is.
Yeah, there's too many kids in the school, in the classes, and not enough to teach her in. But again, the kids are suffering and they're embarrassed, and we're not being listened to.
This is their emotional well-being we're discussing.
Yeah.
It isn't like we're just making waves for the sake of making it.
No, because we are not the troublemakers.
I am.
Are just
I
a little bit, but we're just saying there's a problem. Please listen.
Yeah.
And then
they're not. When you raise it, obviously each time you have to raise it, you become the time waster.
You're labelled.
Troublemaker. Mm-hmm. I think it's mum. No, just because my child is too scared to talk to you, don't think I am.
No. It's like, you know when you're in the problem, because when you phone them, they're like on the phone. As soon as they hear your voice, because they know it's you and you're going to moan about something. It's like...
Is that you, mum?
But yeah. I don't want to be moaning. My child just wants to have a wee, you know.
Yeah, but you're not asking much. Come on.
No, exactly.
I don't know. Hang on a minute. So if you were in prison, what was it you said to me? If you
that you get more human rights in prison than you do in school.
There you go.
Yeah. And again, if your child is out on the playground and the toilets are open, hey, woo, fair game. No, if they don't need a wee at that time.
It's not even need a wee at that time. Some of these children actually need that social interaction. So they're focused more on the social interaction. Now, this is going to be rife within children that suffer with ADHD, autism, things like this. So they're going to be so focused on this, they're not going to be concerned about going for a wee because they're with their friend group.
But it does impact them, because when she wants to go to the toilet and at home, I'm going to the toilet, mum. See you in a minute.
My children
but you don't
never have to do that.
No, but she does.
Yeah, they do.
But why she need to tell me? You're at home, you're free to use the toilet. Because of the impact of what's going on in the school.
Yeah, but because our daughters are very similar, it takes a while for that to happen. I mean, the work that I've done at home is absolutely ridiculous. The wider impact of this is the stuff that comes home with the children. They're upset. They're crawling into the bedroom. They want their own space. They're not going out and doing what they used to do. They're not socialising like they used to do. Don't forget they've got hormones in play as well, and that is God bless anyone that's going through it. So we've got that. But when you notice a difference in your child and you say to them, I can notice a difference, why are we not being heard? We're in a mental health crisis as it is, especially within the children.
And it's bad because, you know, they're running home to go straight to the loo.
I'm not being funny, but we've had occasion where we haven't even made it home.
Yeah, see, I've had that, I mean, I've heard of stories where children have pooed themselves.
Yeah, especially when they've got tummy aches and they're still not allowed to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, or they're throwing up, and the new rules are now, well, unless you've been sick 5 times and we've seen it, sit back down.
You're joking. Is that the new rule?
That's the new rules. They need to be seen to be sick 5 times before they even call a parent. So if that's the case on being sick, they're not going to care about toilets.
Yeah, but the issue... Yeah, but we get fined if we don't send them in.
Yeah. I've done that many a times. When it's come to that time of the month again, it's like, do you know what? You're having a few days off.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
But then I'm in trouble.
No. As long as it's documented, as long as you've got the evidence there.
Oh, yeah, I did that. And they put on there that mum phoned up. The child has told us that she's got a bellyache because she's on the period. Mum's explained that too. But we're not authorising that absence because it isn't a medical condition.
It is a medical condition because if you're down at the GP and you're down at the gynaes and stuff like this, and you've got all this paperwork to prove that your child suffers each and every single month.
On her bit of paper with her attendance, it's written clearly there, not authorised as not medical. It's written on that bit of paper.
No, that has to be changed. That has to be challenged and changed.
Yeah,
that's
Mum's refused to send her in. Is put there instead.
Listen, I would refuse. Point blank, I don't care whether they unauthorised it or what. I'm really not interested.
Yeah.
The emotional well-being of my child is more important than having them in school and suffer with their emotional well-being.
Yeah. Because I mean, you can't win. You're losing their education for keeping them out.
Yeah.
But you're saving their mental health. Or you're sending them in to get their education.
Why do we have to choose?
But then the mental health is sick. Yeah, exactly.
Why do we have to choose between one or the other?
No, I agree. I thoroughly agree. Something's wrong and something needs to be done. But you need enough parents to stand up and say, look, it needs to be sorted.
Okay, well, here's a tidbit of advice. If you email the school, email their admin inbox. Why? Because that's the inbox that Ofsted looks at. When you have a complaint, you log it on paper, get it sent in on an email. Ofsted then see this. They see the amount of complaints that this school is receiving. They are therefore able to put stuff in place. Did you also know that you can contact Department of Education?
That I didn't know, but the Ofsted I've done.
Right. Once you've gone through Ofsted, you can then contact Department of Education. You can contact your local councillor, MP and stuff like this. The issue is there's not enough people coming forward to discuss this. So if you've got something that's similar to this and you need to make a complaint into the school, you need a change, it's going to have to be done together. It's going to have to be done by you standing up and saying this isn't right, because it's not right, and at the moment everyone's suffering.
It is. It's very true.
Let's just take a break. Welcome back. So, yeah, we have quite a bit to say on that. I think overall the fact is it's not acceptable.
It's not. No.
Not in any way, shape or form.
It's actually disgusting, to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, what child 11 to 16 wants to admit they've wet themselves, or...
Yeah.
You know, it's the embarrassment, isn't it?
It is. That's incredibly embarrassing for them.
I think the worst thing is...
Yeah, but it causes trauma.
It does. But when my child come home that day, and she said to me that yours...
Yeah.
Asked her to go and ask for the key at the end of the year, school day.
Yeah.
Because she really needed the toilet, and I refused to give it to her.
Yeah.
That.
Yes.
See, that.
Now, bearing
really
in mind,
annoys me.
my child has been assessed. She needs access to the bathroom.
That
now, bearing
really
in
annoys
mind,
me.
my child has been assessed. She needs access to the bathroom at all times.
Yeah, they got told, we haven't got the key, and there's no one here to help you.
So they had to take her from there down to another bathroom. So she still had to walk through this school. Now, this is the end of the day. How many children are walking through that school?
I mean, obviously it wasn't me that went through it, but when she's come home and told me that she's upset because your daughter's upset, it's quite distressing to me to hear that.
And let's put
Hence
it this
why
way.
I called you immediately.
The first phone call I got was from you.
Yeah.
The second call I got was from my daughter, because she has a mobile phone. Screaming, crying, barely able to breathe. This has happened. She's traumatised. She's supposed to be going for an audition. She's supposed to be going for some sort of workshop. It's not on. So, my normal. Mummy, Bear, has you... I lost the plot, is what I did. Understandably, because given the fact that I'd argued with them the week previous, they also had it on email. We need this toilet pass in place. I actually, when she did have her period, she absolutely needs access to a toilet. There's no way around it. Unfortunately, heavy and lots of pain. It's just an absolute nightmare. So she's refusing to go. Well, not refusing to go into school. She's bloody terrified.
Yeah.
So she doesn't want to go in because they're not letting her out to the bathroom. So I'm there to speak to someone. Over 90 minutes I was sat there waiting to speak to someone because I'm now a troubled parent, apparently. And over 90 minutes sat there waiting. I then had to go and find the local authority attendance and welfare officer to actually get him to go in and speak to them to get someone out so we could get her into school.
Well, they normally tell you, well,
Oh, no,
send
no, no,
an
no, no.
email.
No, but it's unauthorised because she's not in school. But
Yeah.
I'm up there for 3 hours at times. I mean, it's not the first time I've done this. I've waited over 3 hours previously. Not once, not twice, numerous occasions, because I want to get her into school, but she needs adjustments to get into school. Why should my child suffer trauma just to get an education? Do you think that's right?
No.
It's
I mean,
not.
their answer to everything is as well, send us an email and we'll pass it on to the relevant people. It's like, yeah, but that's going to take days. We need to sort it now.
They don't send that to me anymore.
Oh, no, I still get that. But again, mine's been assessed as well.
Yeah.
And we're meant to have a care plan put into it with the toileting thing amongst it. They took it upon themselves to do the list without asking.
My child is diagnosed. Still not under a care plan. But yet we've got a plan in place that is seen by a team that we know nothing of.
And we're not asked our opinions.
Well,
It's
no,
our
no.
child. We need to say, actually, no, this ain't going to work, but this is going to work, but we want this as well.
No, it needs to come from a professional is what I've heard previously. It needs to come from who's more professional, the parents? Or someone that sees them once, every month, 3 months?
Well, that's how ridiculous it is. We'll go off subject slightly. I wanted to get her a bus pass, and they told me we need a letter from the school to prove her age. And it's like, well, Mum, birth certificate? But no, that's how it had to be done, apparently. The school has more rights over our children than we do.
But And I've got to raise this now. You know I'm on
yeah.
one and you know what's coming. So hang on a second. If I was to tell my child they could only use the toilet at certain times of the day or the evening, what do you think would happen to me?
Social services are to take your child away because you're neglecting and being harmful to the child.
Oh, I'm denying a basic human right, aren't I? Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not allowed to talk to my child in a certain way because it's very damaging.
But the school do.
Members of staff can, I don't think so. Yeah? So we have effectively been taught to parent our children with empathy, kindness, love, which is it should be anyway. But they're denied basic rights in school.
Yeah. But if we did it at home, all hell breaks loose.
And this leads on to the other thing. If a child didn't want to come home, there would be questions raised.
Yeah.
But yet when the child doesn't want to go to school,
you're neglecting your
it's
child.
the parents.
Yeah. Not only are you neglectful, you're causing them harm. It's like, but what are the teachers doing to them on a daily basis when they're shouting at them or talking down to them or not allowing them to do something? Like they maybe don't get their homework in on time. You're after school for half an hour. Well, let the parents know 10 minutes before school breaks up.
No, the children are put into a room to reflect on what they didn't do. So that child could have gone through 10 things during that day that they did absolutely amazing. But they've still got to sit there for half an hour in a room and reflect on the one thing they didn't do.
Yeah. Well, the school systems were down last week and the week before, and no homework could be done.
Right.
Try logged on in school, couldn't log on. Yet, 2 hour detention was given, and I was told at 3:15. That's when I went down to school.
Yeah.
And demanded they hand her over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you don't give a child, especially with autism, 2 hours detention, 45 minutes before school's out, when no child's done the homework, because they can't log on to the school's carousel or whatever it is they use, because they're down.
Yeah.
So where do they get away with that too?
This is the thing, but it's not even as if the children are badly behaved.
No.
Don't get me wrong. There are children that are really badly behaved and will push it and do what they need to. But when you have children that are so good, they don't speak up. They can't speak up.
No.
They can't. My child has even said to me, "Mummy, when I talk, they don't listen." Which is why my child wants me in there every day so that she can say what she needs to them and she knows that I've got her back.
Exactly.
And it's fair to say.
Yeah.
Now, it's not like this is a minimal thing. We're arguing this is her emotional well-being that we're discussing.
So, I mean, they're not recognising these children that are too scared to ask for help.
No.
They're just...
Yeah, but then they're labelling the parents.
Yeah, well, they failed this, or they only got 1 out of the 30 questions they did, but they didn't ask me to help them.
But they're not going to.
Exactly, because they're bringing attention to themselves, and they're feeling stupid as it is because they don't understand what's written there, and then they're being had a go at and punished.
What child in a classroom of 30, even if we went to 20, what child would want to put their hand up and say, "I don't know this"?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some of this maths homework as an adult, and even I can't understand it.
No.
Let alone someone like a child, like her, that has issues with numbers. She can't deal with numbers. And I've told them this. Why are they not helping her? Why is there not someone in that classroom with these children helping the ones that can't understand?
They don't have the funding.
And why don't they have the funding? Because they shut the bloody toilets. So they ain't got someone being paid to monitor that, have they?
No, they
use
pay
other kids out of the bigger classes
to walk around the building to take children to the toilet or medical room.
But it's all right. They've got about 10 receptionists in one little reception.
I don't know. I can't answer that. We're not.
Yeah. But as a foundation school or any of these big schools, they have got plenty of funding. And if it is run by private sector, well, if these private sectors can open these schools, they've got to have money to be able to improve them.
Yep.
So, not an excuse.
It's not. But unfortunately, the children are seen as numbers.
Yep.
Not as individual children.
But then what are you teaching them? It's like, well, we're teaching them discipline for when they get older and leave school. Well, no, actually, what you're teaching them is you're not allowed to speak up.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to go to the toilet. If
Can't question authority.
you make a mess of yourself, you've got to sit in it so you can finish your work. And you're only allowed out on the playground if you behave yourself, or I'm going to keep you behind if you don't finish your work.
It's not good.
And even then they can't go to the toilet when they're on the playground without asking anyway.
Yeah. They still have to ask.
Yeah.
It's not good. It really isn't good at all. Isn't good
It
at all.
needs addressing.
it does. That it does.
Because we're going to end up with a society of children going into adulthood.
Who are not even able to advocate for themselves because they've been told not to. Why are we destroying a generation?
Yeah. We're meant to be improving, and that's what it is, and that's what you're seeing.
Yeah, it's not good. They've got
so many children are being pulled out to be homeschooled, and they're missing out on the interaction of friends.
Yeah. It's the social implications.
Yeah.
Then there are groups that do meet up and things like this, but it's not as if it's daily and you're building the foundation for friendships for life.
Yeah.
Because you can't do that when you're moving around. Yeah. When you're
I have a friend who's taken their child out of school to homeschool them because they were being bullied in school.
Yeah.
The school did nothing.
Yeah.
So now she's away from friends. She's away from that interaction. She's away from school plays, just simple things.
Yeah.
Because the school chose to do nothing about it.
Yeah.
When my son was in school, he was physically thrown to the floor, kicked and punched by 4 boys, and their answer to that was, we'll do a contract. Why do more? You can't get the police involved because they're too young, but why not do more?
No, but
why not show them the wrong thing?
No, the children should know. They should know this. They should know that. They should be able to control their bladders the way that we want them to control it.
Well, unfortunately, it don't work like that. People are human and everyone is different. You may have a child that can hold themselves until they get home without an issue.
Yeah.
You may have a child that knows everything that's going on in the work. But then on the other hand, that one child, there is 5 others that can't and don't.
Yeah.
And no one's recognising that.
Yeah.
These schools are not funded to help these children that need the extra care.
Yeah.
And that also in itself has to change.
It has to. But nobody's discussing this.
We need more people to start
level.
Bringing it up.
Yeah. It needs to be awareness so that it's discussed at a wider level because it's not good. It's really detrimental to the well-being.
It's not like you've got a school here with, about 2,000 children. You've probably got about 5 or 10 parents arguing every day about it.
Yeah.
That's not enough.
It's not.
You need more and more people saying the same thing, complaining at the same time every day before someone starts listening.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're going to get nowhere. I even suggested to you the other week, we need to do a strike, a demonstration outside the school.
Yeah.
But it's getting enough parents on board to do that, to try and bring the attention to it.
Yeah.
So this is what we need to do.
Yeah.
We need people to stand up and not be scared at the school. If the school tells you we're dealing with it, don't take their I'm dealing with it. Ask them for proof how they're dealing with it.
Yeah.
You want to be in on the actions so you physically see it's being dealt with. Don't let them fob you off.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're going to do.
The issue is the fobbing off. We're dealing with this, we're dealing with this. Do you know I have 2 complaints in that still haven't been answered?
It's not surprising.
Yeah.
I put a serious one in 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, these
not
are
been
serious.
dealt with. Yeah.
It's the same complaint on different occasions.
But you shout the word safeguarding.
Yeah.
They'll send you the safeguarding teacher, but you still don't get to the head.
No, you're not allowed.
No.
No.
Because you're trouble.
Because you're trouble parent, yeah. You're trouble parent.
The minute your name's mentioned is like,
oh,
not interested.
The minute my name's mentioned, it's like a headache, isn't it? It's true. It's like, oh, not that one.
No, that's what I said. I just love the phone. It's the,
oh.
And it's like, you are aware I can hear you.
Is that you, Mum?
Yeah, it's like, all right, Mum, hold on, I'll put you through. You know, if you send an email, it gets to the right person. Yes, but I want this done today. It's like, okay. But the thing is, you're shouting at all these poor receptionists, and it ain't actually their fault.
It's not even the receptionist's fault. Do you know what? I've got to say, there's some amazing staff there. Mm-hmm. And no, there is. Teaching staff, there's, reception. There's some incredible staff there.
When they let you in the building.
No, well, come on. They didn't let me in for a while there. However, there are some incredible staff there, and they've done really wonderful things for my daughter. But that was the teaching staff.
You need the bigger.
Individually.
Yeah.
But this is a wider issue. Now, not every member of staff is going to know my child. And then you've got cover teachers who come in who have no background. And yes, they say they write down these passports or this information thing. You've got a teacher that's coming in at, 9 o'clock to start a 9:05 lesson.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, it's not that. I've asked numerous times for the head teacher that's involved with that year, can you please sit down with me? I'm in a meeting.
I take up too much time, apparently.
I'm not worth it they're in the meeting. It's like, you're saying you're in the meeting. Well, I'm in the building and I've seen you walk past.
Yeah.
You're not in the meeting. You're just avoiding the fact that
It's avoiding it and putting it off so that by the time they leave school, nothing can be done.
Yeah.
So the issue that I have is that I've been told, we've dedicated enough time to this, Mum. No, actually you haven't, because not once have you listened to my child, which means that I then have to come in, and then we get into this rolling thing where I'm always in the school. Why am I always in there?
Exactly.
I'm always like the place, so I don't want to go back.
No. Well, they don't let you through the first bit anyway anymore. They used to let you in to sit down, but don't no more. But no, it's not that. It's the stupidest thing that you phone the school, you explain it to them, you tell them you're coming down. I told them I was coming down. And as soon as I opened that door,
that was your mistake.
It's like, Mum, I'm sorry. It's like, don't say sorry to me. You're a receptionist. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
Give me the head teacher. The head teacher's in a meeting. The head teacher's not in a meeting. She's over there talking. But if they actually sat down with parents and actually listened and were interested in trying to better the school so these complaints don't come in, we wouldn't have this issue.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Everything, once they have the involvement from the parents, and I'm not talking about fundraising and what have you, I'm talking about involvement surrounding the decisions that are being made that do impact the children.
Yeah, because we know them best. We can say, actually, do you know what, that won't work, but maybe this may.
Yeah.
But we're not given the chance.
No, but even if we did that, it'd be like, no, I've got this in place, I've got that. Oh my gosh, they gave her a neurotypical and to get back into school. And I'm there going, why are you giving her a neurotypical? This is used for other... No, it's not. Other children are on flexible timetables.
Yeah, see,
don't start me.
I've got a care plan in place because she won't react to certain things. She won't ask for certain things. It's like, okay, we've told the teachers this in all her lessons. They're going to look out for this. She needs to say that. And it's like, but this isn't working.
Yeah, no.
Why have you not asked me?
Right.
That's the annoying thing.
That's the issue.
Bring us in and talk.
But when she can't advocate for herself...
Yeah, I try and I'm in trouble because I'm causing trouble.
And it just goes round this vicious circle.
Yeah. And then everyone ends up with Ofsted. Ofsted get fed up with it.
Yep.
And then we're in even more trouble because we've caused more problems for the school.
Yeah.
And it's like, but all we're asking for is listen to us. Talk to us.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't be calling every day. We wouldn't be shouting every day.
Listen, if there isn't an issue, you won't see me.
If not, get someone in
the
school.
That's it. You won't see me.
Yeah, but if they don't want to deal with it themselves, find a specific person that is going to be delegated all the jobs to that will sit down and talk to you.
If there isn't an issue, you won't see me.
If not, get someone in the school.
That's it. You won't see me.
Yeah, but if they don't want to deal with it themselves, find a specific person that is going to be delegated all the jobs to that will sit down and talk to you and talk to the other staff.
No,
but they can't do that either.
No, hang on a minute, because they did this. They turned around and said, right, so you need to deal with this person, but this person can't make the decision because it has to go to the team who, ain't involved.
Yeah.
Or I can't get hold of.
No, I have to go to the safeguarding teacher who has no power.
Yeah.
And all she can do is say, I will pass it on.
Right, hold on a minute, because my daughter hit crisis point again. Here's a really, really good point. This then falls under safeguarding. It falls under safeguarding because it's to do with her emotional well-being.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? She's hit crisis point, and that is a safeguarding issue. So what can safeguarding do when I call up? I'll speak to the leadership team. Right, well, who's that then? Because I need to speak to them. But they're busy.
It has to be done via email.
Has to be done via email, but they won't respond to you. No. It is then sent back to safeguarding. So hang on a second. So I'm seriously concerned about my child. Enough to be calling in, enough to be saying, hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
We need something in place as soon as possible. I want her in school, but she needs to be able to trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've broken her trust. You've done this. She's been subjected to XYZ, which has overall been a detriment to her.
They need a department specifically for this, I think.
Yeah, but they'll say that they have that in place, but that department, exactly, and that's where the issue is. Mm-hmm. No, safeguarding deal with this, or we've got a parent liaison that deals with this. Well, no, you don't, because they still have to go back to the same people who are not trained in the way that safeguarding officers are trained. Yeah, especially when it comes to emotional well-being and certain things. Do you know, my daughter hit crisis point in the morning. By the afternoon, we finally got a meeting with the assistant head teacher. who then said, right, you need to, I think it's best you go home, because my daughter described what she wanted to do and how it was making her feel. Do you know, I got a phone call the following day from the year team stating, you do realise that her absences are unauthorised? I went, don't even start me, we're done, and put the phone down. I honestly, all that is doing is antagonising me. Mm-hmm. So when I lose the plot and I go, you are...
That's what they're trying to do. They try and push your button. So if you kick off, they have a valid reason not to.
Oh, I've kicked off 3 times. 4 maybe.
I don't. I stay calm.
No,
so they've got no reason.
No,
but that's what they're trying to do, isn't it? They're trying to find reasons to keep you out of the school.
Yeah.
And cause trouble. And if you are deemed loud, abusive, that's their excuse to keep you out. But when you keep quiet like I do, and I speak to them in a tone that's actually quite condescending, I do get very condescending. They can't do anything about it because I haven't caused trouble.
I don't know if I've done that.
I started Googling words that are really proper to the point and very condescending, and I'll say something to them and I'll bring that word up.
Yeah,
and
but why can't we just be a parent?
I know, you shouldn't have to. You need a law degree now just to talk to them.
Right. Why can we not just be parents? Why do we have to research, back up the research and still not get listened to, by the way? Yeah. Why do we have to do that?
I know.
Why?
When you do send the emails look like they've come from a lawyer when they've come from you, and you still get nothing back other than it's sent to the relevant department.
Yeah, but then what happens to it? Gets lost in the ether?
I don't know. One day it turned round, I got a phone call at 7 o'clock at night from the head teacher over
Coke. Oh my God, that's so fun. We need to do one on this.
And I'm sorry, but she did go to the locker room to get a coat, but it wasn't there.
No.
Really?
On the same day that she asked?
Yeah, 7 o'clock that night.
No.
So it's like, well, this is my time now. School's over and you're phoning me 7 o'clock at night, taking up my time.
Do you know what? I don't
giving me rubbish.
I know. See, for me, I don't mind that.
I do, especially when it's Coatgate.
Well, yeah, when it's Coatgate, in all fairness, I can understand that. For me,
this is a fun topic. Don't worry, it's Coatgate. It's hilarious.
Oh God, that was funny. Right. No, honestly, for me, I don't mind the fact I couldn't care less if they called me at 9 o'clock at night. At the end of the day, they're acknowledging it, and that's the way that I see it. But then I've gone through this for years.
Yeah, but they're really condescending when they talk to you down the phone. They have this like little high-pitchedness to themselves, you know, like a little sing-songy, and it's like, seriously, I want you face-to-face having this conversation with me and we'll see how sing-songy you are. It's because you can get away with it over the phone at 7 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, but I get sing-songy back. Do you remember the phone call I took here?
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna work.
That school hates her.
So true. But the issue is I'm fighting for my child's well-being.
Yes, we are not bad people.
Why do I need
care
to battle for my child's well-being? She's a child.
Yeah, exactly. You bring them in this world to be safe, to be happy, and you send them somewhere where you expect them to be safe and be happy. And
they're not. That is huge.
Yes.
Having a child feel safe at school, and they're not.
You're handing over the most precious thing you've got for 6 hours. Expecting it, because they're babysitters, aren't they? If you put it in technical,
yeah.
So you're handing your pride and joy and your most precious thing over to a babysitter that's meant to be qualified and expecting to be safe, and then they come back and they're not. How do you deal with that?
That's what I mean. And how can I raise my children to show people respect?
Yeah.
And regard, because at the end of the day, they go into work, they mind all these children basically for the day, and they do deserve respect.
But there's a limit.
How?
And there's a line.
There is a line, because when my child comes home and says, yeah, but they don't respect me.
Shouted at me about something in front of everyone.
Yeah, but not necessarily over something important. Mm-hmm. It's not important.
She had the wrong book, and a teacher stood there and shouted at her in front of all the kids about this wrong book. And she cried, and she came home, and then I got the safeguarding teacher call me and talk to me about it, and she went, I've spoken to them, and I've told them that because she couldn't find it that morning, she got herself overwhelmed and stressed, and she told the teacher this, yet the teacher still made it a point to do it in front of everyone.
Yeah, but they're literally just shaming the children for the sake of it.
For what? You've got a child that's got emotional problems, that has meltdowns over losing a pencil, let alone a book, and you've got this grown person that's meant to be the bigger person teaching your children and being more, I understand it was wrong that you've done that, you should have said it a bit earlier.
Yeah.
Not to stand there and talk down to them in a nasty tone in front of every child in that class.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened to her.
And the kids are highly observant as well.
Yeah.
And that then instills fear in the other children. I can't forget. So hang on, no, right. So that increases anxiety.
It does.
Not just in that one child, but in the surrounding children, because the teacher's done this. What child wants to go in and face that?
I don't, because the next day she woke up, Mum, I've been sick and I feel sick. But Roy, you need to go to school.
Yeah, but that's anxiety.
It is, because she was terrified because she had that lesson again that day.
It's not even that. Anxiety is not even recognised by the school.
No.
Do you know we actually had one teacher say, why don't you take some medication for your anxiety? She was 13.
Yeah, because we just want to introduce drugs to the kids now too.
There's serious consequences with this with the children, but they're able to do it and get away with it. I never said that.
But the weird thing is, you keep your child out of school, you're in trouble. But once a month, the school closes early, so the teachers can have twilight time to themselves, so they can have calm down time without all the kiddie winks around. And then we're going to have this holiday this week, but we've never had that holiday before. Yeah, but that's another holiday. You come back from holiday and there's another one. But you're not allowed to take your child out.
Did you see that thing where the woman actually received a fine through the post from the local authority? She then wrote back and stated that she would then like to proceed to fine each teacher the same amount, given the fact that they'd gone over this quota of holiday days or of twilight days and stuff like this. Like, they've gone over by about 4. Like, this woman would have got like thousands, I think. Yeah, because it's a secondary school, each individual teacher. And then the local authority wrote back to her and said, they're not going to take this any further.
No, but it is a case in point, isn't it?
But it is.
You get taken to court for having them out too long, or you're in trouble for having them out too long, and you're causing their education damage. But by the way, we're having next week off, then we're having half day the following week, and then we're going to have 2 days off the following week after that. And by the way, the summer holidays for 6 weeks is now 7. But that's okay.
But this is the thing. See, during the holidays, I get my child back.
Yes.
I don't mean that
they're happy.
as though I physically have my child back.
Yeah.
No, my child is withdrawn, sleeps, like, just wants to sleep, lay in bed, doesn't want to socialise, doesn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
But yet you give her, so this is not necessarily during the 1 week holiday, but during the 2 week holidays, like for Easter and Christmas, and then the 6 weeks holidays.
Well, they're off for 2 weeks in 5 weeks.
We just have joy. Yeah, but this is the thing. I look forward to that. My life is easier, when my children aren't at school.
That's what I mean. It's like I said to her today, oh, you got school tomorrow. And the look of dread on her face is like, please stop saying that to me.
No.
And it's like, I'm not going to keep saying it to you. I'm just letting you know we're back to routine tomorrow. And it's like someone's just swallowed her up and stuck her in the worst place ever.
Yeah.
Because the thought of going back to school.
Yeah.
You're meant to enjoy school. It's meant to be the best days of your life, because that's where you socialise with your friends. That's where you learn. It's where you enjoy lessons.
Yeah.
Especially like science. They don't do cooking anymore, as far as I'm aware. But we're going to stick a theatre in the school.
No, they don't. Do they? Have they stopped the cooking?
I've not heard one thing about cooking.
Please tell me they haven't stopped the cooking.
But this is what I mean. They take all these bits away, but then they go and stick a tennis court in, and a theatre, and a swimming pool. Or how about teaching the children how to cook something? Or how
Do you know, my kids actually ask me, I don't know whether it's a YouTube, TikTok thing or whatever. Do you know they actually sit there and go, when are you teaching me about my taxes?
I ain't had that yet. She don't understand numbers. You take her to the shop, and she's got, because she gets pocket money every week.
Yeah.
And she'll say, we count it for her so she knows how much she's got. And she'll go, how much is that altogether? And we'll tell her. And she'll get all the money out and put it on the side. It's like, but you don't need all that out. You only need this little bit. How much have I got left? How much change am I going to get? Because she doesn't understand.
Yeah, she's not grasping the numbers.
No.
Have they looked into that at all?
No. And the school don't listen when I tell them that. She's been like this since year 1 and all through primary school. The amount of times she's not done her homework, this hasn't been done corrected. She's only got 2% on this test when it all comes to maths. And I keep saying to them, she don't recognise numbers. She can't understand the concept of putting these things together. She knows a times table. But if you give
but
her
that's
money...
repetition.
Yeah, but if you give her money, nothing. She can't even tell the time on the clock that doesn't specifically have the numbers on it. It has to have 1, 2, 3 on it. And then in between you've got the 15, 20, 25. Otherwise she can't tell the time.
Right.
And I've told them this.
Put that in writing. Sorry.
But it will be sent to the relevant department.
Yeah.
And I won't get an answer back. I might get a gift basket with "please go away" written in it. But
I'm still waiting.
they're not
babe.
listening.
It doesn't happen. No.
Maybe we should send them to prison. Might get a better education and treat a bit better.
It's a good point.
Come on, how many come out with
honestly.
qualifications?
Yeah, but they're
they
taught
do.
in a way that actually is suitable for them.
Yeah.
This education one size fits all.
It
Because
doesn't.
You need to ensure that
I'm looking at different schools that deal
Yeah.
with children like her, and you can't get in there because there are so many children waiting.
Yeah. But what they've done is as well, so whereas ours don't have behavioural,
No.
they don't have the behavioural side. They're mixing with behavioural.
Yeah.
And because they pick things up from the social group.
The attitude starts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, and that again in itself is an issue. I can't say to a school, right, you need to do separate classrooms for certain children.
No.
Because it's never going to work.
But you don't even need that. You just need a way to teach the children. I mean, this is archaic. The way that the children are taught is archaic.
Or you bring in specialist teachers that know what they're doing to do little groups for these kids. While the other kids are being taught with the other teacher. It's not going to be shown as being looking different. It's just, we have an extra teacher in the classroom to help out today.
That would
They
mean
don't
the
need to
government
know.
funding.
But these schools are funded privately, so why are they not doing it?
Because the funding that they receive don't cover it.
But we've got all these governors on one school. Why can they not find it? Why can they not? See, that's another thing. Give us the full names of every one of the governors that run that school, that are, a part of the school or in charge of the school, separate from these teachers, and let's talk to them.
Well, we're not allowed their contact details.
Exactly.
It has to go through the school, which one of my complaints did.
Yeah, exactly. But
Still no response.
that's not acceptable. You've got an issue with a product that these people have in a shop or whatever.
Yeah.
You go directly to that shop and you deal with that.
Yeah.
So why can't you do that in the school? It's like, excuse me, you are a governor of this school. We have an issue.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
But you're not allowed to do it.
Well, they used to have surgeries, but then COVID hit.
I bet they do coffee mornings for parents to teach parents on some of the lessons.
Could you imagine we walk in?
Like, hey, yes, we have a problem. I don't need
there.
to be told what 1 and 1 is. I just want to know why my toilet...
My toilet.
Yeah, it's got me so annoyed. Well, my child can't go to the toilet.
I know.
Hello. But no, yeah.
It definitely needs changing.
It
Things
does.
need to be changed. But this is a wider issue,
I know,
not just with
having-
the one school.
Yeah.
We're
We're
having-
laughing about it. But it's not funny. It's not.
It
no.
really isn't funny.
I think if you don't laugh about it, you just
Listen,
end up in a heap on the floor crying.
Yeah, but I've got 10 issues with the school currently going on. I can't...
I got Coatgate.
No, that is
I've got
literally
a full
the
to fill out
highlight
now.
of my day, I'm telling you. Honestly, I can't keep going, no, this is X, Y, blah, blah. I can't do that without a sense of
No.
humour because there's no other way of coping with it.
Exactly.
I've got too much going on trying to keep my child alive.
I mean, it's not that. Again,
just wanted
we're
to
back to
survive.
this toilet thing. Yeah. But again, a big issue, which obviously I didn't know about until I got told and we brought this up already.
Yeah.
But when they're pulling other kids out of year 11, whatever it is, to take these year 7s
Yeah,
to
but
the
these
toilet.
year 11s are there revising for their exams.
Yeah,
Why are they pulling these kids out?
But they're phoning the classroom to ask for a couple of the children that are free to take these children to the toilet. And again, I'm not being sexist.
No.
But when you've got a 11-year-old girl and you've got, say, a 15, 16-year-old boy taking that child to the toilet...
Have you seen the height difference between the year 7
I've seen the size of mine,
and
though.
year 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but in all fairness,
Yeah, but-
even still,
It's-
that's scary enough
it
for
is.
them.
Because you can't say you can't trust every child. But how many of these kids, they're hormonal, they're learning...
Things, yeah.
And they're taking a young girl to a toilet.
Yeah.
And I'm not labelling anyone.
No,
but
not in any way, shape or form, but
there
it
are
happens.
some there that will maybe open the door and look. Or will say something that's quite rude to them.
Yeah.
And it's the same as if you've got an older girl taking the younger boy to the toilet. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter whether you're a boy or a girl. The point is, it's wrong.
Yeah.
If you need a toilet buddy, then send someone else from the classroom that your child's in.
Yeah.
You know, allocate a couple of kids to be toilet buddies.
Yeah.
So when you know someone needs the toilet, providing they're not in the middle of doing something, go with them.
Yeah.
Don't go and get a child that's 3, 4, 5 years older than a child that needs to go to the toilet.
Yeah, but they've got people, or they should have people employed to do this if they're locking the toilets.
No. But they don't, because they're using the kids, which is then disrupting their class time as well.
Yeah.
And then if there's no children available, that child wets themselves whilst waiting. There's a huge flaw in that one as well.
Yeah.
I mean, like with a primary school, it took me a few weeks, but I put a stop to the boys and the girls changing in the classroom together.
Yeah.
Because they thought it was okay to send 9 and 10-year-old boys and girls into the same classroom after PE and get changed together.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't do that.
No.
Even in this day and age, it's still not acceptable.
No.
If we didn't have half of the problems we've got now, it still wouldn't be acceptable.
Yeah, but they're exposed to so much outside of the classrooms. The children now are online at those ages.
But then you still don't do it physically in front of them. I mean, you've got young girls starting to grow. You've got boys getting feelings. And they're standing there getting changed, stood in their boxes, looking at these girls in their vest and knickers.
Yeah, they're developing earlier and earlier.
You don't do it. And I got that stopped.
Right. Yeah.
But I shouldn't have had to step up and cause a lot of problems to stop that. The teachers themselves should have known better than to do that. And it's the same in this case with the toileting. The teachers should know better than to stop a child going to the toilet if they need one. Did the teachers get told they can't go to the toilet? No. Maybe the children should have a card for the teachers' toilets and they can be in charge and tell them when they can go and see how they like it.
Swap for the day.
Yeah.
I wonder how long it would go on then.
I'd like to see how it work. Because that'd be quite interesting.
That would be interesting to see how many children this has had an impact on.
And all because they want to have academies and too many kids.
Yeah.
So all the children that need help are not getting help.
Yeah, but then you can't call it an all-for-one school.
No.
All-for-one education. You can't call it inclusive when these children not being catered to.
I mean, I get it with the uniforms. Yes, you've got to have the correct uniform or not, or you're sent
home.
There
are certain things the children can conform on.
Yeah, but something as simple as the toilet 10-15 minutes after we've come back from break because I didn't need it then.
Yeah.
To be humiliated and ignored.
Yeah.
It's not acceptable.
No, it's not at all. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you the amount of times I've kicked off at that school.
Or maybe what they need to do is put someone near the toilet, leave one toilet unlocked so that person can monitor who's going in and out the toilet and how long they're in and out of there.
Their concern is where the children are roaming during the school building.
What they want to do, put tags on them?
I get that there's truancy, people will come out of classroom, they hang about in the toilets,
and mess
they want
about,
to do this, they mess about. Like, we're not saying that. We're saying the ones that are paying for it are the children.
They genuinely need it.
That genuinely need it. And that's the issue. This then causes emotional well-being issues.
Yeah. It's not that. It's like when they build these schools, why don't they do toilets close to the classrooms so that teacher can see the child leaving the classroom, going in there, and see him leave and come back out?
For my child to barely survive school.
Yeah.
I didn't give birth for my child to barely survive school, sorry.
And then what they're going to learn when they're older? Teach their own kids, sorry, you can't go to the toilet yet, I'm busy. No.
Really not good. But I think we'll wrap up there for the day. Yes, so thank you for watching. If you've been watching for this long. Cope gate on the next one. Now tune in.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Listen, the details are below the video if you need to get in contact. Like I said, the biggest takeaway from this one is make sure you email the admin inbox. That's the one that Ofsted looks at. Double check with your children and make sure their needs are being met while they're there. You need to listen to your child. It's easy to accept what a professional is telling you. You know your child best and you'll be the one that can judge how their well-being is.
I think it's know your own rights, isn't it?
Know your own rights. That's another side to that.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of work trying to pull it from left, right and centre. We will offer as much advice as we possibly can when we can, but we're limited ourselves because you can see what we're up against.